If you want to get married to a nurse, you're planning to get married to a nurse, you have a fiance that's in nursing school, or you are currently married to a nurse, this video is for you. Watch all the series of this video. Please, it's for your own good. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Nurses Lounge 101. This is Stella Fonking-Forby, your favorite nurse coach. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the 4 disadvantages of getting married to a nurse. Yes, you heard me right. But first, if this is your first time visiting this platform, please like this video, share with your family and friends, subscribe to this channel, click the notification button so when I upload a new video, you'll be the first one to know. I really appreciate your support. Okay, so before I start telling you the 4 disadvantages of getting married to a registered nurse, to a nurse, I first want to say this. This is mainly in the United States. I really do not know about things outside the United States. So I will be focusing on nursing in the United States. So if you get married, for example, let's say you get married to a nurse who, someone that is a nurse here in the United States, they are typically going to be doing 2 shifts. It's either 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shifts, right? We occasionally have off shifts like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. But those ones are really scarce, like case management and stuff like that. They have those kind of shifts. But most shifts are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So if you decide to get married or to engage anyone that is a nurse or is becoming a nurse, I want you to get ready because they are disadvantages to getting married to a nurse. I will start with disadvantage number 1. If you get married to a nurse here in the United States, they are either going to be working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Whichever one it is, you are going to experience this disadvantage. You are either going to be waking up very early in the morning or you are going to be sleeping without your spouse. Yes. So if your spouse decided to work a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift, for example, you are going to be waking up early in the morning. So if you are that person that likes to sleep a lot, that likes to get your nice sleep right up to 8 a.m., you may want to have that conversation with your significant other before you make that decision to get married, because it will become a problem. If your spouse is waking up early in the morning to go for the AM shifts, you are probably 99% going to wake up. We're talking about waking up at 5 a.m. because they need to be at work by 7. So when the alarm clock goes off, my dear, you are also going to wake up. They are nurse on duty, you are nurse off duty. So whether you like it or not, you are going to wake up. If your spouse or significant other decided to work the night shift, which is the 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift, then be ready to sleep without your spouse. So if you are that person that cannot sleep without their husband or cannot sleep without their wives, be ready. Have that conversation. Decide as a family what is good for you guys. So if you have a spouse that is working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you cannot you are that person that cannot wake up that early, you have to choose to let go of them to do night shift. If you're that person that cannot sleep without your spouse, you have to let them do 7 a.m. shift. So you have to be waking up early. Either way, it is a disadvantage. We just have to find a middle ground. So this is not to scare you, but to prepare you. It's just for informational purposes. It's just for informational purposes. This has caused a lot of problems in the lives of nurses because their spouses are not having it. But if you have this knowledge before you go into it, you both can sit down and find out what works for you guys. Rather than just walking into it, you can sit down and have a conversation and see what works. I will be providing some possible solutions to these problems. I'm not just going to give you guys problems without actually suggesting what is working. After talking to a lot of nurses, I've come up with some possible solutions as well. Disadvantage number 2, emotional starvation. See, nursing is a ministry. You sacrifice a lot in nursing. It's exhausting. The long hours we stay away from our spouses. The long hours we stay away from our families. It's emotionally exhausting. It causes a lot of emotional starvation. This is a disadvantage to marrying a nurse. You're going to be experiencing some emotional starvation. And sometimes it leads to emotional affairs because you are separated from your spouse for such a long time. Just imagine, for example, your wife leaves the house or your husband leaves the house at 6 a.m. in the morning. She's going for an a.m. shift. 6 a.m. in the morning, she's gone. Gets to work at 7. Gets herself ready. Finish her 12-hour shift. That's already 13 hours from 6 to 7 p.m. Then she has to give report to the incoming nurses or the incoming nurse to spend maybe another 30 minutes to 45 minutes or to an hour at some times to hand off her patients over. So by the time she finished giving report, it's like 8 p.m. So that's already 14 hours away from their significant other. So if you know that you cannot stay away from your spouse for 13 to 14 hours a day when they are going to work, don't get yourself involved because you are going to experience this. Either you experience it in the morning or you experience it in the night, because in the night, she'll still leave at 6 p.m. And at 6 p.m., she will go to work and come back the following day around 8:30 or 9 in the morning. Still going to be the same thing. Are you able to stay away from your spouse for that length of time? You have to figure it out now. Again, I will not bring up something to you without bringing you guys possible solutions. So please make sure you watch the other series. I will be discussing possible solutions to these problems. I appreciate you guys so much. Please like, share, subscribe to this channel, click the notification button so whenever I upload a video, you will be the first to know. Thank you so much for your support.